America's marijuana laws. We do not advocate any illegal activity and encourage all listeners to learn their state and federal marijuana laws. Opinions and claims made by guests and advertisers on the Russ Belville Show are their own, and the Russ Belville Show cannot be held legally responsible for their validity or reliability. Viewer discretion is advised.
You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it, and it goes down smooth. Hey!
Spanning the continent to bring you the truth about cannabis and marijuana law reform.
I smoke pot and I like it a lot.
From the promise of legalization.
And I think that we think if we criminalize our marijuana laws.
To the agony of prohibition.
One major responsibility is to encourage people to use less drugs.
The Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
Yeah, I hear you had a question for me.
Now, here's your host, Radical Russ Belville.
We love it.
Live from the National Marijuana Business Conference here in Denver, Colorado. I'm Radical Russ here, and I hope we've got Cannabis Karri from our virtual studio in Lakewood, Colorado. Karri, are we there? Okay, so we will keep trying to get Karri on the line as soon as we can, but all sorts of great stuff coming on the show. A couple of interviews from the National Marijuana Business Conference. We spoke with Aaron Smith, the head of the National Cannabis Industries Association, to ask him his opinion on the victories in Colorado and Washington and what we have in store for the future for the cannabis and marijuana businesses that are sure to flourish in the wake of legalization. We've also got our daily cannabis headlines, our marijuana news coming to you, all sorts of reactions from around the world, around the country on the legalization of marijuana in Washington and Colorado. But first, we'll take a look at Little Rock, Arkansas, where the activists there are looking to improve on their 48% vote for medical marijuana for the next election cycle. We're also going to take a look at NCAA sports and the professional sports leagues' reactions to marijuana legalization. Denver's, Governor Hickenlooper here in Colorado had a reaction to marijuana's legalization that got a very interesting response from some of the people here in Denver. Then we go back to my home state of Oregon, where the feds are looking to use asset forfeiture after the Heights Farm. And then when we go behind the headlines, take a look at the Oregonian response to marijuana legalization. It's a very, very on today's show. Also, we've got some Groovin' Thursday music for you. And at the half past, we will show those interviews like I mentioned. And then we will get on to a radical rant. So stick around. It's the Russ Belville Show. We are live and remote, so we will see if we can get everything fixed here. And sorry about the choppiness here. Like I said, we are on a wireless remote right now, and so we're doing our best to stay connected and give you the best streaming example we can. Little difficult sometimes on spare with. As for the
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
The law offices of Omar Figueroa would like to remind you to stand up for your rights. Please do not give up your precious liberties. There's nothing wrong with standing up for our constitutional rights, and in fact, it's the only way to honor the Constitution that recognizes our natural rights. Treat law enforcement with respect and respect the Constitution by standing up for your rights. If you are detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, "I respectfully invoke all my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search and seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to speak to my attorney, Omar Figueroa. Omar Figueroa has more than a decade of experience in federal and California courts and graduated from Yale University, Stanford Law School, and Trial Lawyers College. Please contact the law offices of Omar Figueroa at 415-489-0420 or 707-829-0215 or on the web at www.omarfigueroa.com.
Compared to a planet, you're all just a bunch of specks. But we love you all anyway. Mums.
This is tremendous mass waves all over in space.
If you're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana and the next thing you know, they got 10 years, they got mandatory sentences, and these judges just say, they throw up their hands and say, there's nothing we can do, it's mandatory sentences. We've got to take a look at what we're considering crimes.
When the Reverend Pat Robertson from television's The 700 Club
Criminalizing marijuana, criminalizing the possession of a few ounces of pot and that kind of thing, I mean, it's just...
makes more sense on the marijuana issue than the President, the Congress, and the Supreme Court.
It's costing us a fortune, and it's ruining young people. The young people go into prisons, they come out, they go in as youths, and they come out as hardened criminals, and it's not a good thing.
You know we're winning. Karri.
By now, the world has heard that both Washington and Colorado have voted for legalizing marijuana for adults in their states. We can now move on to what everyone has been waiting for, a response from the federal government. The Department of Justice wasted no time in releasing a statement to remind the celebrating Americans that marijuana will remain illegal despite the ballot measures passed by the state's legalization of recreational use. Department spokesman Nat'l said on Wednesday that, quote, enacting the Controlled Substances Act, Congress determined that marijuana is a Schedule I controlled substance. We are reviewing the ballot initiatives and have no additional comment at this time. Now, there will be more from both camps in the following days as both sides try to sort out the meaning of the new laws on policy procedures for police departments and policy makers. The Colorado law will be phased in over time, but the most important part, personal possession of up to 1 ounce as part of the Colorado State Constitution, will be legal 30 days after the vote is counted, verified, and signed. They are projecting the law may go into effect on January 5th, although that date may change. Licensings and sales will be phased in by 2014. Now, in Washington, that law will go into effect on December 6th. But like Colorado, simple possession will be legal, but the more complex processes like business licenses will be phased in, year-long process by the State Liquor Control Board. Okay, and our second story today that I have for you is about sports. Russ mentioned it earlier. The USA Today covered marijuana as they legalized it on Wednesday, the day after 2 states passed legalization measures. A reporter had asked the NBA and the NFL if players in those states would be allowed to enjoy marijuana. Can the Denver Broncos and the Washington teams be able to use marijuana in their off time? Well, NFL spokesman Greg Alelo told USA Today Sports that marijuana remains prohibited under the NFL substance abuse program. Although I can see the marketing potential of the Denver Nuggets, the NBA also shot down the idea. NBA spokesman also answered in a negative. Mike Bass said that the new amendments in Colorado and Washington will have no impact over the league's current substance abuse policy, adding that marijuana is prohibited substances under our collectively bargained anti-drug program. Now, Shannon Sharp, a former Denver Bronco and Hall of Fame player and a CBS analyst, said that loosening the collective, or that suspending using marijuana will not change in his lifetime because it sends the wrong message to kids that follow what NFL players do. He says that the NFL, the NBA, and the MLB will never condone marijuana use in the leagues, but not everyone agrees with Sharp, although former 6-time Pro Bowl lineman Nate Newton, the league will be forced to change as more states adopt legalization. And I'm going to throw that back to you, Russ. Those are the 2 stories I have coming from Lakewood, Colorado. Hopefully I'll see you a little bit later tonight.
All right. Thank you so much, Carrie, for calling in. I hope everyone's still hearing me on the main feed here. Moving on, news from Little Rock, Arkansas. The Associated Press reporting that Arkansas failed to become the first southern state to legalize medical marijuana this week. But the narrow laws didn't discourage the measure's supporters, who said Wednesday they plan to tweak their proposal and try again. Chris Kell, the campaign strategist for Arkansans for Compassionate Care, the group advocating for the medical marijuana measure, said, quote, "We'll try to get it through the General Assembly, and if that doesn't work, we'll take it back to the people," end quote. Voters in Tuesday's election narrowly rejected the measure that would have allowed patients with qualifying conditions to buy marijuana from nonprofit dispensaries with a doctor's recommendation. More Arkansas voters cast ballots for the marijuana measure than they did for President Barack Obama, with more than 500,000 votes in favor of the marijuana issue and about 390,000 votes cast for Obama. And in an update, Oregon, we told you the story of James Bowman and the High Hopes Farm in southern Oregon. This just in from the Oregonian and Noel Crombie reporting. The federal government this week moved to take Coos and Jackson County properties associated with 3 separate Oregon medical marijuana operations, including the High Hopes Farm. The forfeiture filings are part of the government's ongoing investigations into marijuana possession, manufacturing, and distribution. The federal government may seize the assets that are used to commit the crime. That's our fourth headline news for today, Thursday, November 8th, 2012. When we come back, we're going to go behind the headlines and take a look at the Oregonian response to legalization in Washington and Colorado. This is the Russ Belville Show. After this.
What's happening, cool cats? This is Big Daddy, and I want you to cruise on over to the Funky Roller Rink. We'll be grooving all night long. Doors open at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, every Thursday night, right here on RadicalRuss.com.
Funky-licious.
You want to legalize it? Call your congressman today. 202-224-3121. It's free, it's easy, and you don't even have to give your name, just your zip code, and they'll hook you up to your congressman. Call 202-224-3121 and tell Congress you support marijuana legalization.
Liberate your mind. Liberate your mind. Liberate your mind. Liberate your mind. That's what you got to do. Liberate your mind.
Now, the headline from the Oregonian's editorial board: Oregon lawmakers should take up marijuana legalization. Now, this is huge because the Oregonian is a fairly conservative-leaning paper as far as Oregon goes. Wouldn't be conservative in a lot of states, but as far as Oregon goes, pretty conservative. And the Oregonian for a long time has been rejecting all the measures that we put forth. They were vehemently against Measure 80. They take every opportunity they can to slam Paul Stanford and to slight our attempt to pass marijuana legalization as not being serious, being too silly, for example. So let me just read to you from the Oregonian's editorial, because this is pretty amazing. Yes, the failure of Oregon's marijuana legalization measure Tuesday must have disappointed its sponsors and supporters. But how sad can they be, really? Even as voters in Oregon were saying no to Measure 80, those in Washington were saying yes to I-502, which may soon make a dependable supply of legally obtainable pot available within a short drive of downtown Portland. We're going to need a new bridge pronto. The measure's passage also means something else. The reasons for taking legalization here seriously just got a lot more compelling, which is why Oregon's pot advocates will give voters another go at it before long. And if that's our future, then the legislature, which we'll discuss below. First, consider that Washington vote means for Oregon at large. Assuming everything goes as planned, Washington's Liquor Control Board will adopt rules by the end of 2013 for licensing of marijuana producers, processors, and retailers. Marijuana stores will proliferate, and people 21 and older will be able to buy up to an ounce at a time. Because Oregonians buy Washington pot, and they'll drive it right to Oregon. If this booms at Washington's pot, our neighbor to the north will collect millions of new sin taxes. Much of the money coming from Oregon would be happy to keep taxes in the if given the opportunity. Losing out on all that revenue would be a pity. However, when policies widely in adjoining states, whether they govern marijuana or taxes, people move back and forth in pursuit of their interests. Want to stop the movement? Remove the incentives by leveling the policies. Now, sorry about this, folks. I know we're doing the best we can with the wireless that we have. And yes, if we could get 4G wireless Verizon type of account, that would be a beautiful thing. We are working on that. But to continue on this, this is the statement in this particular one that just really makes me angry, because this is something the Oregonian has said many times, and this is something that our opponents have said many times, and that is, the obvious policy response for Oregon is to legalize marijuana as Washington has done. Like the idea or hate it, it wouldn't amount to a radical change. For all intents and purposes, the casual use of marijuana years ago through the as Oregon medical marijuana. I'm so sick of hearing Oregonian, Josh Markey, and people who say that it's easy to get a medical card as it is to get. It's just not true. For them to say that they've legalized use marijuana through the marijuana program is a lie. It is fear and just at its work. People with medical marijuana cards are paying up to $1,000 after you figure out all the doctor's visits, you figure out all the clinic visits, you figure out all the protection money they got to pay to the state, and they have to get firm documentation of whatever it is that was wrong with them. The opponents here seem to think that you just go to some doctor, complain you got a backache, and then you got a medical marijuana card. That's not the way it works. You have to go to a medical doctor. You have to have medical records that show you have a legitimate use for this. So again, this is a red herring argument from the Oregonian, and it just will not stand. But the point that they're getting to here in the Oregonian article is something that many of us have pointed out as well. And that is, we now have the leverage to go after our legislature and to tell them, if you don't work with us to help us put together a law that everyone can live with, we will just go in and continue to put together whatever laws we want to live with. This is the choice that we get. We either you work with us and we come up with something that we can all live with, or we are going to go with whatever we like, and you not like legalization we come up with. So this is something that we're all really excited about here in the state of Oregon, and it seems like the Oregonian's editorial board has figured that out as well. Work with us, or you will find in 2014 we are going to pass another legalization, and it may not give you guys an opportunity for us to be able, an opportunity for you to get involved with this. It is going to happen. California is moving ahead. I've been talking with people here at this conference. California is moving ahead in 2014 as well. They will have a legal marijuana coming up by 2014. The entire West Coast so up here on marijuana law. So Oregon, it's time for you to get involved with this. Measure 80 coming out at 45% is an amazing victory. It's actually 46%, I'm told. 46, an amazing victory when you consider that 2 years ago, we tried to pass a dispensary measure that was very, very conservative, and it only got 44% of the vote. This tells me that the people of Oregon had enough with trying to tinker around with the medical marijuana program and realized that it's only going to get worse if we keep trying to separate healthy people from sick people as to whether we put them in a cage over their use of marijuana. All right, folks, so it looks like we're on a little delay here where it's time for us to take our 20 after break, and I thought it would be kicking in a little quicker than that, but it is here in Denver, Colorado, where marijuana is legal, or at least will be as soon as the law is signed by their governor, which should be taking place here.
Have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. Have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. If he said he swam to China, he would sell you South Carolina. Then you know you're talking to that reefer man.
Funky, licious.
Oh yeah, that's right. Grooving, keeping it mellow here at the Funky Roller Ring. So join me, Big Daddy, every Thursday night. The doors open at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Groove on. Groove on.
We're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana, and the next thing you know, they got 10 years. They got mandatory sentences, and these judges just say, they throw up their hands and say, nothing we can do is mandatory sentences. We've got to take a look at what we're considering crimes.
When the Reverend Pat Robertson from television's The 700 Club
Criminalizing marijuana, criminalizing the possession of a few ounces of pot and that kind of thing. I mean, it's just
makes more sense on the marijuana issue than the president, the Congress, and the Supreme Court.
It's costing us a fortune, and it's ruining young people. The young people go into prisons, they come out, they go in as youths, and they come out as hardened criminals, and it's not a good thing.
You know we're winning.
Everyone knows music and marijuana go together, so let's wind up our 20 after break with the Russ Belville Show's Daily Toker Tunes, the best in pod-safe 420 music from around the web. Today is Groovin' Thursday, featuring rap, hip-hop, soul, and funk music. You can get downloads and more information about all our Daily Toker Tunes by visiting music.radicalruss.com. Now, sit back and enjoy your Daily Toker Tunes.
Some of the top artists, and we're going to promote some of them, so I hope you guys enjoy that. I'll remind folks that if you've got any music, if you know bands out there that are looking to be promoted, you can send their information out to me, Russ at radicalruss.com. I'd be glad to promote them here to the folks that are doing music. And nowadays, all recording technologies that are available, it's just so much easier for us to play these artists. So please, you can send them to Russ at radicalruss.com. If we like them, we'll play them on the show. We have a different genre every day. For those of you who are new to the show, different genre every day. On Mondays, we play blues, jazz, folk, and country music. On electronic dance music, trance, age, and experimental. On Wednesdays, it's reggae and Irie music, island music, Latin, world music, and so forth. On Thursdays, which on today's show, we play the Groovin' Thursday music, which is rap, hip-hop, R&B, funk, soul, disco, that kind of stuff. And then on Fridays, we've got our Rockin' Fridays with metal and jam band and rock and alternative country. So check that out every 2 o'clock a.m. and p.m. Pacific time. That are Toker Tunes. All right. So what are my folks that coming up tonight? I think we rolled a episode of disco at 2 o'clock Pacific time. And if any questions, you can always. There also are Twitter at Radical Russ and our show 420 official show. We've also got RB Show 420 on Facebook and Radical Russ on Facebook as well.
Yeah. That fresh shit, that next shit, that pineapple express shit. Look. OG the sour D actually smoking avidly. Swag on that say save the earth. I swear my niggas going green. Yeah, we holding green, forever rolling trees. You let your bitch come to my show, she gon' be blowing me. Bye by the O, smell it on my clothes. D-Rock be rolling up, cause all these bitches down to smoke. He been told you we ain't gotta ask your bitch to look. You smoking on that Bobby Brown pack and that Reggie Bush. Miss Mary Jane, Jane, Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Hey, hey, don't blow my high. Miss Mary Jane, Jane, Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Don't blow my high. Yeah.
Sitting, twisted, bump it, pass it, get it, hit it, don't you kill it, don't forget to ash it, take this vote here, yeah, just cash it, and I'm smoking fly shit. Yours is brown grass shit, we chillin' in the building, you can't get access granted. Fucking with us, you'll never be sober again. Pineapple Express shit, I'm on point, I don't never miss. Fuck them fake niggas who always trying to diss. I just turn the other way while I light up my spliff. I'm married to the green, Mary Jane is my mistress. My lyrics are like acid, they're gon' make a head trip. Bad white hoe look like Trish Stratus, and I have her face down, red jumpsuit apparatus. Miss Mary Jane, Jane, Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Don't blow my high. Miss Mary Jane, Jane, Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Don't blow my high. Miss Mary Jane, Jane, Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Don't blow my high.
Yo, I be rolling all day and smoking all night. Me and my bro will give your girl that good pipe. Believe it, I'll convert any bitch from a dyke. Good sound, that's that shit I do like. Rolling planes thicker than the wheels on them. I be smoking sevens like the Eiffel Poem. Miss Mary, you got my heart and my mind you control. So much of you around, you would think I grow. But you the reason that I'm never low. And you the only thing wrong that I will blow. Pause, I really don't give a fuck about the laws. My life is a never-ending high and you the cause. Miss Mary Jane, Jane, Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Come on, girl, don't blow my high. Miss Mary Jane, Jane, Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Come on, girl, don't blow my high. Miss Mary Jane, Jane, Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Come on, girl, don't blow my high.
Yeah. That fresh shit, that next shit, that pineapple express shit. Look. OG the sour D actually smoking Advil. Swag gonna save the earth, I swear my niggas going green. Yeah, we holding green, forever rolling trees. You let your bitch come to my show, she gon' be blowing me. Bye by the O, smell it on my clothes. D-Rock be rolling up, cause all these bitches down to smoke. He been told you we ain't gotta ask your bitch to look. You smoking on that Bobby Brown pack and that Reggie Bush. Miss Mary Jane, Jane, Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Hey, hey, don't blow my high. Miss Mary Jane, Jane, Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Don't blow my high. Yeah.
Sitting, twisted, bump it, pass it, get it, hit it, don't you kill it, don't forget to ash it, take this vote here, yeah, just cash it, and I'm smoking fly shit. Yours is brown grass shit, we chillin' in the building, you can't get access granted. Fucking with us, you'll never be sober again. Pineapple Express shit, I'm on point, I don't never miss. Fuck them fake niggas who always trying to diss. I just turn the other way while I light up my spliff. I'm married to the green, Mary Jane is my mistress. My lyrics are like acid, they're gon' make a head trip. Bad white hoe look face down, red jumpsuit apparatus. Miss Mary Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Don't blow my high. Miss Mary Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Don't blow my high. Miss Mary Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Don't blow my high.
Well, I be rolling all day and smoking all night. Me and my phone will give your girl that good pipe. Believe it, I'll convert any bitch from a dyke. Good sound, that's that shit I do like. Rolling planes thicker than the wheels on them. I be smoking sevens like the Eiffel poem. Miss Mary, you got my heart and my mind you control. So much of you around, you would think I grow. But you the reason that I'm never low. And you the only thing wrong that I will blow. Pause, I really don't give a fuck about the laws. My life is a never-ending high and you the cause. Miss Mary Jane, Jane, Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Come on, girl, don't blow my high. Miss Mary Jane, Jane, Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Come on, girl, don't blow my high. Miss Mary Jane, Jane, Jane. You blow my mind, you blow my mind, don't blow my high. Come on, girl, don't blow my high.
Funky roller ring.
Oh yeah.
What's happening, Groovy Cats? This is your Funk Master of Ceremonies, Big Daddy, and I want you to join me every Thursday night at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, right here at the Funky Roller Ring.
Oh yeah.
Your home of soul, funk, and disco, baby.
Funky-licious.
There's always a party at the Funky roller ring.
You want to legalize it? Call your congressman today. 202-224-3121. It's free, it's easy, and you don't even have to give your name, just your zip code, and they'll hook you up to your congressman. Call 202-224-3121 and tell Congress you support marijuana legalization.
Liberate your mind. Liberate your mind. Liberate your mind. Liberate your mind. That's what you got to do. Liberate your mind.
National Marijuana Business Conference, Denver, Colorado. We've got Aaron Smith, the director of the National Cannabis Industries Association. As you can see, the national voice of the cannabis industry. So what an amazing day to have a conference after the victory here in Colorado, huh?
Yeah, I'm still walking on air after Tuesday night. We had, not just here in Colorado, but Colorado, Washington moved to fully legalize and regulate marijuana for adults. Massachusetts, medical, marijuana law passed there resoundingly. And, you know, I think that this is obviously an opportunity to expand freedom for consumers, but to really prove that regulation works and that marijuana should be sold through regulated stores rather than through black market profiteers.
Absolutely. People want to know, when does this go into effect, when they can start getting into the business of recreational marijuana in Colorado?
18 months to 2 years, I think, is to be, realistic. The law provides 18 months, and, there's a rulemaking process, and once the regulations are put forth, businesses will be able to apply.
But that's just the business side. The personal cultivation stuff goes into effect.
Personal cultivation and possession of up to an ounce goes into effect within 30 days, as soon as the governor certifies the election results.
People all around the country know about, Colorado and the medical marijuana enforcement division and the regulated system we have for medical. How will this now, in 18 to 24 months, will it be a lot like the medical system? And will the current medical distributors and processors be a part of this new recreational system?
If current licensed medical marijuana dispensaries want to apply to become adult use centers, they have obviously that right, and they'll have first shot at it. And I think that, I would imagine, especially, looking a few years down the line, that many of the medical marijuana centers will move into the adult market. And certainly will continue to serve patients, but will also be able to serve anybody over 21. And I think having this regulated system in place here in Colorado for medical marijuana was really an opportunity to show the general public that regulation works. And I think that that's why we saw this pass with 55% of the vote. Last I checked, 50,000 more votes than President Obama received. So,
people are here for this conference from all over the United States, and I imagine maybe some international folks. What are they taking away from this business conference in that they might not have even medical in their state?
Well, I hope that what they're taking away is they're seeing a leader a national leader in the state-by-state medical marijuana movement, which is Colorado, and I really hope that even folks in places, especially in places like California that aren't regulated, that they move toward a system of having state regulations, state protections, and recognition for medical marijuana. So, which, as I said, really proves to the public that regulated marijuana sales are a benefit to the community, and certainly better than the alternative, which is black market.
Absolutely. Aaron Smith, National Cannabis Industries Association. If people want to get in touch with you online, web, Facebook, email, that kind of stuff.
www.thecannabisindustry.org, and we're on Facebook at Facebook/the NCIA.
All right. Thanks, Aaron. All right, so we're at the National Marijuana Business Conference in Denver, Colorado. We ended up here at Cool Jars. And I was attracted to this because at first I thought I was seeing a fish tank. I look back here and you see all these med jars, right? All hermetically sealed, as they used to say back in Johnny Carson days, right? Hermetically sealed underwater and presumably keeping those meds nice and dry. So we got Dave here, who's the exhibitor. Tell us about Cool Jars.
I'd be happy to. American company, California-based. We do packaging for this industry and other industries. The product is called Cool Jars. We do a sealed line and then a flip-top line. And we're in dispensaries all across the country. So it's an exciting business for us, exciting industry, exciting time to be in this business, and happy to help you out.
Yeah, after the victories and all. Here's some of the other containers, right? We got this plastic. And, like you said, here's the ones with the flip-top lip.
Exactly.
Right? And then you got screw-top lids too, right?
Screw-top lids are sealed, airtight, watertight, odor-tight. A lot of companies that do pre-packaging of their meds love these products because they keep the meds dry and the constant level of humidity for a long period of time. So, again, 2 product lines for a broad spectrum of uses. The plastic is polypropylene. It's FDA approved, food contact compliant. You can put just about anything in it and make sure that your product stays safe. So
that looks great. Is there a website for people that want to?
There is. Cooljars, COOLJARZ.com.
It's right there, folks. Cooljars.com. Thanks a lot, Dave. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Russ. Good talking to you.
We're at the National Marijuana Business Conference in Denver, Colorado, and we've got Emmett and Dave working here at the MPP booth, and you guys got to be super happy about the victories, huh?
Oh, yeah. Let me say, I've never been so high in my life. Just, it's been a head rush since Tuesday night. Haven't been sleeping easily, just excited, getting phone calls from everybody all over the country, wondering what's next. Everyone's in this, state of anxiety, of just kind of excitement all at the same time. So,
yeah. What do you think is next, Dave? What's next now?
Well, the hard work has yet to begin, and it has started right now with this. And there's many states that are next in line, and everyone's going to want a piece of the action. And we need to make sure that the industry heads in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things, you guys being activists on the law front, trying
statutes passed, medical statutes, legalization statutes. What perils or pitfalls do we need the industry to avoid?
Good question. Well, the industry just needs to stay centered on the principle of this issue. Obviously, there's profits involved. There's kind of that nature of competition that is involved in business. But what I like that I see here so far is we're still all one big family no matter what. You know, no matter who's competing for the market, we're a family, and we've been through a lot together, suffering through prohibition. So I don't know what pitfalls to avoid. I come to this as an activist, lobbyist type politico, but I think the industry's got a lot of potential ahead of it. It has to be careful. It's always a learning process, and it seems like this conference here has got a lot to offer to the industry.
That's absolutely right. Now, Dave, you were here. You're from Colorado here, right? You work in Colorado?
Yeah, I'm from Western New York originally. A lot of people that worked on Amendment 64 are from out of state. Worked on Prop 19, worked on Amendment 64. And just a big difference from Prop 19 in Colorado. And but if it wasn't for Prop 19, we would never be here. Like Emmett said, it's just a collective effort. Everyone that has gone to jail or has been harassed by police, that has made a phone call, waved a sign, shared info online. We got to keep that movement going. It's not over now. It's not granted we celebrate. But there's a lot to do, and we encourage people to get activated with NPP and other organizations like NORML, DPA, things like that.
Now you're out here from Washington D.C., Emmett. So what do you think the response is? Have you heard anything from Attorney General Holder or the Obama administration on what they're going to do about this?
I've been looking through the news all day because I cannot wait to hear what their reactions are, what we have to work with to move forward. So far there hasn't been a lot of words yet. That's why we're still in that state of anxiety right now. But I'm staying positive and optimistic. We know the feds don't have the resources to stop medical marijuana in Colorado. They definitely don't have the resources to stop full retail marijuana for all adults. And I think there's just kind of this new precedence now. I'm talking to lawmakers in South Dakota, and as I do that, since Tuesday, I've sent a few emails. The conversation has just changed, even there, because they know what's happened in other parts of the country. So there's like this cultural wave that's going on. I feel it, talking to people in other states that are still in the dark. So I feel more energy to help me with my work, and I feel like people are being more responsive. So now it's a whole new platform going forward.
Now, you guys, MPP was involved a lot in helping out Arkansas when it was trying to get its medical. And, I've been saying 48% in Arkansas is a win. So what do you guys think?
Their first attempt, that is a huge win. And we were just talking to the organizers not long ago. They've learned a lot. They know what they got to do next time. They know how close they were. And I'm impressed by what they've done. I think you have to be in a southern state that doesn't border any medical marijuana states. They sent shockwaves through that region. So with the tough opposition, they performed very well on Tuesday.
All right, well, Emmett and Dave working with MPP Marijuana Policy Project. You can find them at mpp.org. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Russ.
You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation. NORML stands for Responsible Adult Cannabis Use. If cannabis use is causing problems in your life, consider taking a break or seeking medical assistance. Consider ceasing cannabis use if you have a family history of mental illness. Don't drive or operate heavy machinery while impaired by cannabis use. Cannabis use is not without risks, even though the risks may be far less than those posed by legal drugs.
Are you or is someone you know a marijuana smoker?
Have you or has someone in your family been arrested for a marijuana violation? You need to know the truth about pot. NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, is the most comprehensive source of information regarding marijuana and its effects on health, as well as legal issues. NORML even offers a database of lawyers specializing in cannabis in your area. NORML, the nation's largest and most successful marijuana law reform organization, has spent decades gathering the knowledge and science on everything related to cannabis. NORML is the best resource to find out the truth about marijuana. Connect with a lawyer in your area or help find an end to prohibition. Information is available at norml.org. That's NORML.org. Or toll free at 888-67-NORML.
You want answers? I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. You want answers?
You have offended my family.
I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth.
And you have offended the Shaolin Temple.
You can't handle the truth.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Radical Rant.
Radical Rant. On that the war is not over. And somebody in the chat room said wars have been lost after battles have been won. And that's a very good way to put it, because we still have so many battles yet to fight. One of the things you got to keep in mind is that all of our opponents, all of the prohibitionists out there, have been trying to scare us for years and years and years about the terrible things that would happen if marijuana were legalized. Now it's legalized. And what's going to happen if they see any bad effect, if they see a kid getting busted with weed, if they find someone that's growing a bunch in their backyard, they come to their neighbors, if there's home invasion robberies or break-ins or trespassing on people in people's neighborhoods, it's all going to get associated with marijuana legalization. And we've got to remind them that, no, this stuff was going on before we legalized as well. That it's not just because we legalize marijuana does not stop crime. It's going to reduce a lot of crime, but it does not stop it altogether. As we some stupid people smoke pot does not be stupid criminal. Reminding them every single got sure that the law fighting consumers that we have always were. Till now, they've tried to frighten with what happened. They're going to try to frighten what will happen. However, we're in really good shape, because to see come from this, we have right 2 years, and if talk here at this National Marijuana Conference have anything to do with it, explosion that the Washington is going to have to get watch.
I take care of my children, my kids, and on that day, I was with his mother, Mrs. Mother, and fortunately, I had to stay away from her. And she's not
able to make a living, some way to be able to bring their work back, their economies back to some sort of level of helping their population. And marijuana is going to be a large part of that. So remember that. We're going to have that to deal with for the rest of this time. Also, another thing I wanted to bring is some of our opponents, some of the people that were against marijuana legalization, and this specifically goes up in Washington State, where so many people were vehemently against I-502. I've had a few of them following me around in the world, trying to following me around on cyberspace here, calling me all sorts of names. And these are also people that are going to pick up on every bad thing that happens after legalization and say, see, we shouldn't have never passed that. We should have never passed that. Already, Steve Sarich, the campaign spokesman for No on I-502, the guy who thought we shouldn't legalize marijuana, the guy who, of course, wouldn't think to start growing for the legal recreational marijuana market. Of course, he'd never do that, right? Anyway, he's already out spreading the alarm about some 18-year-old girl who was driving across a bridge, and the Washington State Patrol saw her and they pulled her over, and the cops said she looked impaired, and they took her in for a blood test, and they booked her, and she had to go to jail for a brief time and had to get bailed out. What a terrible thing that was. And the follow-up on that was, we'll be able to defend her now, but after 502, we won't be able to defend her because it's zero tolerance and she had THC in her blood. Well, the first part of that I would note is that, oh, you mean people are driving around now and getting busted by cops now and getting their blood taken now? That's very interesting. And the second part is, we have yet to see how this trial will go down, but we have no reason to believe necessarily that she's going to get out of this DUI. And the third thing I imagine is, was she stoned? Was she impaired? You know, so many people that get involved in marijuana reform, there's a large contingency of them that have a deep abiding distrust and paranoia about authority and law enforcement. And a lot of times it's well earned because they've dealt with law enforcement. They've been the brunt of law enforcement activities for their marijuana growing or selling. And so these people imagine that every police officer everywhere at all times is always trying to screw people over. That's their theory. And I'm not going to say it's not true in some cases. There are bad cops out there. Absolutely. By and large, cops are just trying to do a job. By and large, I do not believe cops are out there in force trying to find every loophole they can to bust stoners. I just don't I don't live in that paranoid world. I know it's true for some of them, but I do not think that it's true for all of them, or even most of them for that matter. So if this police officer, a drug recognition expert, pulls her over and testifies, sees that she was stoned and felt that she was impaired, I do not automatically think that the cop was lying. I'm willing to look at the evidence. I'm willing to look to see what happened. Look at the dash cam or the sobriety cam or the sobriety test. But the automatic assumption by our opponents here, pot smoking opponents of legalization, is that if a cop said it must be a lie, can't possibly be true. So let's withhold judgment on how that turns out. And the other thing that's going to be tough about this is, especially in Washington State, every person that ends up getting a DUID after this per se law, they're going to be able to say, opponent, pot smoking opponent, see, people would get these terrible. They did. Of course, people were getting like before. Nobody ever. And the thing that we can't, it's that whole issue of, right? We can say that there are now not 8,000 or 10,000 people getting marijuana misdemeanors in Washington State, but that's you don't have anything to show for that, right? You don't have a person to say, hey, here's somebody that isn't in jail, because it's really everybody. And that brings me to the end of this rant, where there's another consideration that we're going to have to get used to. It's marijuana. And that is that politics is the art of the possible. Politics is the art of the possible. We start with what we want from legalization. And a lot of us want a very wide open legalization. Grow as many plants as you like, harvest them, have as much marijuana as you like. You can buy and sell it. You can go to farmers markets and sell it yourself, sell it to your friends, give it away. That's the kind of freedom we're all looking for. Absolutely. But that's where we start. And then we got to realize that we're not the only ones passing these things. There's other people involved. A lot of people around this country involved that also need to pass these things. And we need to negotiate with them and find that special spot, that little sweet spot, where we're getting enough of what we want and they're getting enough of what they want. That's what politics is all about. And I bring this up because this person who's been following me around on the net, calling me names, chubby and bald and fat, all these things, right? Like that takes a detective work. But calling me some here and bringing up, see, Colorado passed without DUID and with home grow. All the reasons you said that Washington needed to have it turns out to be false. It's not true. We could have done it without. You helped pass this bad law. All right. Well, look. Legalization passed in Colorado with home grow and no DUID with 54%. Legalization passed in Washington State with DUID and no home grow by 56%. So it did get bigger support. But also consider this. States are different. States are different. Barack Obama ran the exact same campaign on the exact same issues in both California and Texas. But he won California and he lost Texas. Why? Same message, same issues, same candidate, different state. And the same thing holds true for Colorado and Washington. You could not have taken I-502 with its per DUID and run it in Colorado. It would not have gone anywhere. Not only would the activist community been as up arms about it as some of the activists in Washington state were, but the fact is in Colorado, they've already got a political history working with this per se DUID issue. They've already had the bill come up 2 or 3 or 4 times and been discussed and shuttled. They've already put together a state committee that deadlocked on whether or not there should be a per se DUID. There's been so much more of the groundwork laid for the education on DUID here in the state of Colorado. In Washington, they didn't have that luxury. In Washington, they're going with their first campaign to legalize. And remember, Colorado's tried to legalize twice before in 2006. So they've already tried it. They've already had this run at it. Maybe it was just 2006, I forget. At least once before. So they've already had this. It's a different political landscape in Colorado. Also in Colorado, you got the Medical Marijuana Enforcement Division. You got a medical marijuana system out here in Colorado that is so regulated and so ingrained with the state bureaucracy here that it's a completely different political landscape than in Washington state, where the legislature tries to pass dispensaries and it gets line item vetoed by the governor. Different states require different tactics. You could not have taken 502 and passed it in Colorado, and you could not have taken Amendment 64 and passed it in Washington. It would not have gone as far. The polling showed, and again, I'm pretty happy with the polls here because up to election night, polls were showing 53% support for both Colorado and Washington. They passed with about 54 to 56. So the polls were pretty close. And the polls in Washington state show that without the per se DUID, that adding the per se DUID gained 6 votes for every 1 vote it lost. 60% of the people, the per se DUID would make more likely to vote for 502. 11% that it would make them. So when you get a chance to win, one lose, you take that chance. And it worked. 5 passed. Now, some are trying to say that anyway, even without like, even if it put a home row, it's nice to think I really wish and is the case, but knowing for sure, I think it would barely lost. I think that 6 to 10% of people, the scared soccer mom vote, if you will, is what pushed it over the top. And we'll see more from the exit polling when I get back into town. I'll be able to take a look at all of the different situations and all of the different demographics, and we'll find out exactly who voted for O2.
This is the Russ Belville Show. The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at radicalruss.com.
Take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it, and it goes down smooth. Hey!
Now it's time for Toker Talk Radio, the voice of the marijuana nation.
What are you people?
On dope?
Or you can toke.
I inhale frequently.
Or you can talk.
I experimented with marijuana and didn't inhale.
Or you can toke and talk.
10 federal criminal penalties for possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana.
While we talk about toke on Toker Talk Radio.
So, by the way, when it comes to pot, if you're 40 years old, you live in a log cabin in Oregon, you got 12 giant pot plants in your backyard, have a ball.
Live from